bonjour, 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 bonjour. Vous êtes en direct, direct. Vous êtes en direct. Bonjour, bienvenue. Euh, je suis Bumi, aussi connaît Bandites. Bienvenue à moi, Chanet. Chanet. Euh, Aujourd'hui, euh, je vais, je vais parler à propos Terrifier jeux vidéo. Uh, ah, Isaline, how you been? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm doing well indeed. I hope you are too. How's your day going? How's your day been? Appreciate you joining this live stream. I was speaking in French for the first few moments, for the first maybe minute or so before I just saw that you joined in. I don't know how much of that you heard, but that was my French practice. How you doing, Isaline? How you doing, Isaline? How you been, Isaline? Isaline, how you been? How you been, Isaline? I'm doing great. Getting my puppy in 2 days. Awesome. That is so cool. Have you got a name for your puppy yet? Or do you know what type of puppy you're about to get? I heard you're doing great, Lennon. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. I'll try, man. I'll try. I had a French lesson yesterday, on an online French lesson where I was speaking for an hour in French. Well, maybe not this whole hour. I did have to revert to English a few times. Um, but I try to do that sort of thing every so often. I should probably, I mean, I know I should do it more frequently to get better used to speaking it. But at the moment, money does not allow that, so I just do it when I can. It's basically paying somebody to talk. I basically pay somebody to listen to me bumble through French for an hour. That's kind of like the lesson, and they'll give you tips on what you're saying wrong, or where what corrections and things like that. Um, so yeah, but it's basically, yeah, I'm speaking to somebody in butchered French for an hour, and I pay them to listen to me speak in butchered French for an hour while they give me some tips and pointers. So yeah, but it works. It helps. I think it helps. So I don't mind doing it every now and then. Yeah, Alva will be her name. She's a Chinese crested puff version. Okay, let's see what a Chinese crested the puff version looks like. I don't believe I know. Chinese crested puff version. See if that. Oh, powder puff come up. I guess that's the one. Okay, let's see if this is let's see if this is what you be getting. I got this. What came up? Chinese crested powder puff. Your powder puff Chinese crested dog, caring for your faithful companion. Powder puff Chinese crested dogs. What's a unique breed? So go. And I got a picture to the over here. Yeah. Oh, this is it. Okay, nice. Kind of looks like she's wearing a wig. You know what I mean? Like she's got a coat on and she's wearing a wig. That's what it kind of looks like. Like like she just got home, maybe from like one of those fancy parties where they wear wigs. She kind of just got home. She's kind of a bit tired, maybe. He's like, yeah, I just want to chill. I ain't trying to hear all your. I ain't trying to get all cuddly right now. I just want to go to bed right now. That's what she looks like. Hopefully Alva is works out to be. I mean, you're having her from a puppy, so you pretty much get to raise her from baby, which means you get to kind of mold her how you want, and hopefully in good ways. As long as it helps indeed. Yeah, what up, Natalie? Good afternoon. Have a great. I appreciate you coming through, Natalie. Fashion by Nat, Jamaican girl. 123. How you doing? If you don't know, better get to know. Fashion by Nat. 50 years old. I hope you don't mind me saying that, because I saw it on your page. 50 years old, looking like a 25-year-old. So doing well, living well, doing well. Appreciate you coming through, Nat. She doesn't trigger my allergies, so I'm happy. Oh, that's a good thing because you're going to be living with her, so it's good. You can't be sneezing all day long and Brandon. That'd be awkward. Sam B and a place to be. How is ye? How's your day going? How's your day been? Appreciate you joining this live stream. Did you know, Sam, by the way, that there is a Terrifier video game coming out? I don't know when it's coming out because I haven't watched the trailer for it. But I saw today on YouTube that there's a Terrifier 3 video game on its way. And not only that, Art the Clown is apparently about to appear in one of the Call of Duty games as well. So yeah, Art the Clown is getting some video game love by the looks of it. So I can find it again. I haven't watched any of the trailers, but I did see them come up. There we go. So yeah, Terrifier is called the Artcade game. Official reveal trailer. This from about 11 days ago. And then they've got like Art the Clown in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 or Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone and Modern Warfare 3. That was 3 weeks ago. So yeah. I don't know if he's in those games already or whether he's still to come. But yeah, Art the Clown is about to be in some video games. So what up, Dan? Belgian Dan the man. How you been? Looking younger than me. I've always felt like I look like an old 90-year-old granny. Oh, that's not true. That's not true. I've seen your videos. You do not look like a 90-year-old granny. Maybe 95-year-old granny, but not a 90-year-old granny. Come on. I'm very upset. Oh, I'm sorry, Sam. What's happened? If you're okay saying it, I'm sorry. Oh, the clown is getting the love he deserves. That's awesome. Oh, indeed, indeed. And one of the video games looks like it's an like I might have to let me see if I could show the trailer on screen actually because I've not watched it, so maybe we could watch it together and hopefully it cheers you up a little bit from what upset you. Um, there we go. I need to look into that. Being busy. How about you? Yeah, I've been all right, man. I've been all right. I've been working on my movie channel, so I've written 2 videos so far. I haven't recorded them, but I have written 2 videos. So one's a review, I guess, a video game review for Far Cry 3, and the other is what I really like to do, which is take the piss out of movies, and that's about the Matrix Revolutions. Um, I did decide to make a few changes from how I usually do it when I was doing it before because I haven't done it for a while. Now I'm getting ready to come back. I thought, you know what, maybe I should make some changes into my approach to it. But yeah, I'm still taking a piss out of movies. Like that bit hasn't changed. So hopefully, I still got some good jokes in there, and hopefully, still making some good points in there along the way. So that hasn't changed. Hopefully that hasn't changed. But yeah, I did decide. I think you know what, for the sake of doing things a bit different, maybe being a bit more consistent with it as well. I did decide to make a few changes into my style of into my format, I should say. So yeah, things still to come, but just I've written them so far. Yeah, what up, little Jakes? Little Jakes in the place. How's the aches? Thank you. So good. So good. Appreciate you, Is. Coupons have changed their vanilla slices and they are not nice. Oh, damn, man. Damn. Are they just not nice at all? Like, or is it just they're not nice as before? Like they just really changed the recipe and it's just off? Like, what I mean? Is it like a case where it's gone from a 10 to a 9, or we talk about going from a 10 to like a minus 100? Like that's bad news. Man, that sucks. There's no point living in the hole then, really, isn't there? Like, you might as well move. Like, why live in a hole if the vanilla slices ain't even that nice no more? Like, the only thing keeping you in a hole, and it's like, man, they changed it. It's like I never want to see a terrifying trash video. You know what? All I'm gonna say is I have some thoughts. Whether those thoughts will come to fruition or not, that waits to be seen. But I have some thoughts. Terrified, that arcade game looks like fun. Yeah, well, I say yeah, I haven't actually watched it yet, but I did see a little image. Let's see if we could press play. Oh, that's not even what you press play. If we could press play on it. Oh, anime style, nice. So we starting off just out there. Oh, you get to three different characters, four different characters. Okay, so Chris Jericho's in it. Coming 2025. Uh, doesn't say when in 2025 though, but sometime in 2025. Okay, okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. It looks like I don't know if you remember a game called Kung Fury. It looks kind of like that, but with a Terrifier theme to it, which by the way is not a bad thing, by the way, because that was a really cool game. Um, but it looks like that style of game where you maybe have two buttons. You press one button to attack forward, another button to attack back, and depending on the enemies, you might have to attack like more than once and in different directions and that kind of thing. That's what it looks like, which is not a bad thing for a game. Like Kung Fury did that, and that works. And also, what's it called? No, what one finger death punch did that as well, and that was really cool. So yeah, it's got the 80s kind of 8-bit retro look to it. So I can dig it. I can dig it. Saying working hard as usual. They was horrible. The pastry tasted salty off, and it wasn't even a one-off because two different shops, both the same. Oh man, yeah, you definitely have to move from Holden. Holes Holes had its time. It's had its time. You're gonna have to move. You're gonna have to move. Where would you move to, by the way? Like if you since Hole holds nothing for you right now, where would you move to, Sam? Where in the UK? In fact, where in the world, anywhere in the world would you move to? It could be somewhere in the UK, it could be somewhere in Europe, could be somewhere in anywhere in the world. Where would you move to since now that you have to move from Hull? Since it's no point being there. Like, you know what I mean? It's just no, I can't think of a single reason for you to stay in Hull. Not a single one at all. Like once the once once the once the vanilla slices are gone, it's like there's literally no point staying in Hull right now. So yeah, you gotta move. You gotta move, Sam. You gotta move. But where to? That's the question for Sam. Where would you want to move to in the world? Uh Good. Thanks for asking. Goodness. Bloody, and it's not even the movie. Or the movie is far worse than that. Like that's probably what they at least what they showed in this is pretty tame compared to the movie. Bear in mind the movie is a movie and that was like basically a cartoon. So yeah. It's a lot worse than a movie. They got Terrified game. Cool. Yeah, and also got Terrified. Well, they got Art the Clown in Call of Duty. So let's check that real quick. Let's check that real. It's on 20 seconds though. But apparently, Art the Clown's showing up in Call of Duty. Call of Duty Warzone. So yeah, Art the Clown getting some. Art the Clown getting some video game time. And why not? I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And oh, it sounds like fun. Yeah, I want to see what kind of moves he got because they clearly cut it out of the trailer there. Like it kind of implies he's got some gruesome moves, but they kind of cut it out a bit so you don't really see much. But oh well, oh well. Yeah, I guess you have to get the game to see all the cool stuff. Hmm. Doing again. The game has an old school look to it. Yeah, 80s. Well, 8-bit retro. Well, if you talk about the first one we showed, but yeah. Else is never moved to London. Would you never lose? Okay, I feel like, I mean, London is definitely an upgrade from Hull. I mean, off this planet, there is no reason to be on Earth now. I've lost my vanilla slices. I feel this strongly. Off. All right, so you go into Mars or maybe Venus. Venus is the third planet from the sun. Is that right? That means it's really hot. It's really hot. The closer you are to the sun, the hotter it's going to be. Let's see planet order from the sun. Yes. Okay, no, it's a second. It's a second. Sorry, Earth is the third. I should have known that. I should have known that. Earth is the first. So yeah, Mercury is the closest to the sun. Venus is the second. But yeah, Venus is still pretty hot though. Venus is still pretty hot. So the further away from the sun you get, the colder it gets. So Neptune is would be amongst the coldest planets. So I guess it depends whether you prefer the heat or the cold. I don't think you can move to Jupiter though, because Jupiter doesn't actually have a um uh it's a gas ball. It's basically a giant gas ball. So I don't think you can move to Jupiter because you just be floating around nowhere. Saturn has the rings. So that's pretty cool. We can move to Uranus. you, you could go to Uranus. you can go inside Uranus. Yes, I'm childish. I know. I know. But it's funny anyway. Like I don't care. Like that is funny. Then definitely isn't a desirable place to live. I don't know if that's true. I mean, there are undesirable things about London for sure, for sure. But I mean, in all honesty, like London for me is like I mean, maybe I'm a little bit biased because I grew up in London, right? But out of places I've visited and that kind of thing, like I do feel like London definitely has its problems, like no doubt about it. London has its many problems, but it's not a bad place to live if it's kind of been a big if to it. if you're doing reasonably well, not I don't even necessarily mean super rich, but like I mean, of course, the more money you have, the better, right? But if you're earning reasonably well, you can live pretty okay in London. Like you won't necessarily live fancy, and you definitely gonna have to struggle a bit if you're not in the richer category. But you can live okay if you're as long as you're doing reasonably well. But yeah, it's an issue. Like you kind of have to be in the big earners to really kind of experience London to its fullest, you know, like otherwise you're budgeting for something. I've never played Helldivers 2, no. I've not even played Helldivers 1. Helldivers 2 got a lot of good reviews though, so a lot of people seem to love it, but no, I've not played it. I've not played it. Have you played it? Was it any good? Was it worth checking out? London is upgraded to a whole. Damn, how must be proper graphic. Yeah. Hull's pretty cool actually. I do like Hull. I do like Hull. But a lot of what I liked about Hull was the fact was the couplings, was the vanilla slicing couplings. And if that's gone, oof, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I think I still like Hull. I think I still like Hull, but definitely like it definitely takes it definitely takes a turn. Definitely takes a turn if those vanilla slices aren't as good as they used to be. London is too crowded. London is very crowded for sure. Before you know, someone will ask how hot Uranus is. Yeah, how hot is Uranus? Or indeed, how cold is Uranus? Is Uranus hot or cold? I guess we'll have to go to Uranus and find out. There's a whole thing, right? Where am I? There's a whole thing, right, about horror going too far because of they're killing kids in T3. Yeah, maybe they didn't see Jaws. I can't remember what happens in Jaws. Actually, it was a long time ago since I've seen Jaws. Did they kill kids in Jaws? They probably do. I mean, one of the Jaws movies, I'm sure, killed a bunch of kids. But yeah, London is crowded for sure, and it's getting more and more crowded. You know, I don't think that's changing anytime soon. I think the thing is that right now in London, across the city, there's a lot of high rises being built um, to accommodate the many people, and that's both a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because it means you could accommodate more and more people. It's a bad thing because it means that it makes it a lot more expensive to buy actual property now. Like, I mean, and in London's already hard to buy property because it's already expensive. But once these high rises are completed, a lot of, I mean, and some of them I believe are pretty near completion. Um, it's probably gonna put housing, like actual housing, because if you want to buy, say, a freehold house, like I mean, unless you're mega rich, you're not buying a freehold high rise. Like the average person is not going to be able to afford to buy a freehold high rise. These are like multi-million, billion, whatever pound buildings, and they sell the individual apartments for two, 300,000 or whatever they sell them for. But even that, it's like you're not buying the freehold; you're buying a lease, like for like two, 300,000 in some of these cases. To buy a freehold property right now, you're probably looking at least six, 700,000 in London, or give or take. And yeah, most people cannot afford that. And once these high rises are completed, and a lot of people moving into them, buying property, of course, is going to be more desirable because, like, you want property. Like, people generally want to have their own property, and so that's going to look into these houses. But that six, 700,000 they are now, they're probably going to be like, a million. But at that point, I'd imagine, like, for a 1-2 bedroom house in some dingy part of the city, are you paying like £1 million for? You know, I mean, that's my guess. I ain't a property expert. That'd be my, but that's just my guess that it's a good thing in the new high rises that building are a good thing in the sense that it can accommodate more people and that's needed. But the downside is that it's just going to make property more expensive. And then some of these high rises, like some of these um leaseholds that you buy, like the money that you spend, like two, 300,000, and you just get a lease. Like you don't actually own the house outright or the apartment outright. You just have a lease on it. Like, and the lease is going to last, 100 years, 200 years. So I mean, it's a long time, but it is a lease. So like, it's not like you can leave it to your kids if you have kids or that kind of thing. It's just you have it, and then once you're done, you're done. And then there's also the thing about the shared ownership where you buy a portion of a building or a portion of a house and then you rent the rest out. So you pay your mortgage on what you're buying and then you pay rent on a bit that you don't own. So before you know it, you're paying maybe. I mean, the mortgages are generally not too bad in pricing once it's all said and done. But because you got to pay your rent on top of that, yeah, you could be paying a lot of money to live in a house, and then of course you still got to pay your bills like your electricity, your gas, your council tax, your everything, all on top of that. So by the end of it, you could be looking at what 1,500, 2,000 a month. That you're that's going that as just outgoings, for just basic outgoings, and you haven't even eaten yet. you know, so yeah, it's madness. It's pretty mad. Every city has its problems for sure. Nowhere is perfect. Every country and city has something both good and both bad and good. Uh, I'm in Stavanger. Am I saying that right? Stavanger. Stavanger. Um, we have seagulls, a lot of them. Uh, so not really perfect here either. Seagulls. They're not the only birds that can do this, but apparently they're maybe one of few birds that actually poop and fly at the same time. Like, so what I've read is that pretty much all birds can poop and fly at the same time, but most of them don't. Um, like pigeons, for example, they can poop and fly at the same time, but they generally don't because of where their butthole is. If they were to poop while they're flying, it would just land on themselves. Like they would just go in their own feathers. So that's why they'll perch before they poop. Whereas seagulls, I guess their feathers don't cover their butthole. So yeah, they will poop and fly, you know, and you might think you're fine because they're just flying around. No, they'll poop and fly. Seagulls will poop and fly, whereas most of the birds would perch somewhere before they poop. Information you did not ask for. That's what we do here. That's what we do here. The intricacies of flying and pooping and why most birds don't fly and poop. It's not they can't do it. They just choose not to because they don't want to poop on themselves. Whereas seagulls don't have that problem, so they just poop and fly at the same time. Yeah, and now you know. I've seen Jaws since I was a kid. Yeah, it's a long time since I watched Jaws. I think the last time I watched Jaws probably close to 10, 15 years ago at this point. But yeah, big long time ago. Yeah, got it on my Steam Deck. It's an awesome game, action packed from start to finish. Nice. They had that thing though with the requesting or requiring everybody to have a PlayStation 2 account. And then I think like a lot of people got pissed off with that and then they decided that they weren't going to do it in the end. But I was reading that the PC, the Steam version, the score ended up getting tanked just because like people got mad that the were requiring that you now have to have a PlayStation Plus account in order to keep playing because when it's launched, it didn't need that. And then I think they eventually just went back and I said, no, 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 okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. You don't need it. You know, the housing market is unattainable for a normal person down there for sure, especially in London or any kind of major city. It's yep. TV did a show, the kids die, just the aftermath in Jaws, a shock. Ate a kid, Pennywise killed. Oh, I remember Georgie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Georgie, come out here, Georgie. They all float down here, Georgie. Pet Sim, yeah. Kids have been down to horror movies for a long time. Terrifier 3 is probably as far as I mean, Terrifier 3 is pretty violent, right? But as far as kids getting killed in that movie, yeah, is I guess it's pretty tame. I mean, even Jonathan, granted he's a bit older than a kid, but even Jonathan was like off screen, and they showed like a bloody skull that could have been anybody really. So yeah, they're pretty good to the kids in Terrifier. They're pretty good to the kids. Putting boundaries on horror movies, I might as well stop making them. They're supposed to make you uncomfortable. My offer still stands. Cheesecake. Oh, you know what? Imagine like you can get a 3 bedroom apartment, and all you got to do is give the landlord a cheesecake every month for it. Like you don't have to pay him any money. You know, you just gotta give him a cheesecake. Now, of course, it has to be a good cheesecake. You can't give him some, £1 cheesecake that you got from Tesco's or whatever. Like, you have to give him a proper cheesecake. But a good like high quality cheesecake might run you about 30, 40 quid. Like if you're talking about a full on cheesecake, high level, and that run you about 30, 40 quid. But so you gotta spend 30, 40 quid on a high level cheesecake, give it to your landlord, but that's your whole rent. That's like I'm taking that deal. I might even buy 2 cheesecakes because giving the cheesecake away is gonna be painful. So I'll probably buy 2 cheesecakes, keep one for myself, give one to the landlord. I feel like that's a good deal. I'll take that deal. I'll be fat on cheesecakes, but it's cool. It'd be worth it. Has ever literally gone through the roof, what you pay for a room to rent in London. Just a couple of years ago, you would rent a flat for that now. More you know, with Hayes indeed. Hey, it's what we do here. It's what we do. Talk about bird pooping. I don't think the movie Jaws has aged well with that dodgy looking shark. They don't really show the shark too much in Jaws, though, right? Like you just see its mouth, you know. Granted, from even from the mouth, you could tell it's not a real shark, but I think you just see its mouth. But in a lot of horror movies, kids get killed. Hereditary, Clown, Funny Games, Pet Cemetery, Trick or Treat. Too many to name. Funny Games is excellent. I know, right? That ending is killer. Ooh, wow. Funny Games is oh, wait, your Funny Games, excuse Funny Games is getting a little bit of horror love. I don't know if I know that movie. I might have to look it up. Funny Games, 2007. It's on. It's £7 to buy or 3.49 to rent on Amazon. All right, all right. Was it Spielberg? Yes, it was. Yes, Steven Spielberg. Spielberg. Uh, I was thinking of something. I kind of forgot what it was though. Maybe it'll come back to me. Maybe I'll come back. Oh, that was it. Yes, we were talking about like rent. Let's go to right move for a second because I haven't looked at this for a good minute. But if we're to rent a property in London, like right now, what would it cost? Let's look at the whole of London. So I'm gonna put this area plus 40 miles. I should cover it. And do we want a house or a flat? Let's go for apartments because we gotta try and save some money somewhere. And I'm gonna put no minimum, no maximum number of bedrooms. They want a decent place, so let's have at least 2 bedrooms because you want a decent place. No maximum though, no maximum. So let's search that. See what comes up. See what the costing to live in London right now. Here we go. So the top featured property is 6,000 per month. Okay. The top featured property is £6,000 per month, and that's to live in Westminster. The next one down, Fulham Road, £4,550 per month. Oof. What are we thinking? £4,500 a month to live in Fulham, Chelsea area. There was two versions of Funny Games, both good. Okay. I did see one said, the one on Amazon said US version. So maybe there's a UK version somewhere. Two homemade cheesecakes a month. My final offer. Oh wait, are you offering me two cheesecakes a month to live in Norway? 'Cause I might have misunderstood what you were offering me, to be honest. Sorry, but are you offering me two homemade cheesecakes per month to live in Norway? What's it called again? That uh, sorry, I forgot what you said. Stavanger. Two cheesecakes per month, two homemade cheesecakes per month to live in Stavanger, Norway. All right, that sounds like a good deal. That sounds like a good deal. Two as well. All right, I might have to take you up on that. Steven Spielberg is a hit maker. I don't think he has ever been involved with a movie that has flopped. I might have to double check, but I think he has actually. I might have to double check his record on the IMDb page, but I think he has. I think he just might have. Kick out the other people who lives in your house. One you bought. Oh wait, you want me to kick them out and you want to live there and then pay me two cheesecakes per month to live in that house? Oh, okay, okay. Um, it actually just so happens that the people who are living there have given their notice. So I have to consider that. They have actually given their notice to leave. So I might have to consider that. I might have to consider that. Cheesecakes is definitely an acceptable form of currency for sure. Homemade cheesecakes as well, because like the thing is, when it's homemade, it's always better for one thing. It's always better when it's homemade. Like it's like purer. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but it's just like I don't know, like it just feels better. Like this was made by a person. You know what I mean? Like I mean, of course they were made by people. Every cheesecake in the shop is made by somebody. Well, somebody operating the machine at least. But the fact that somebody like was like holding a bowl and whipping up the cheese, the cream cheese and putting the biscuit base together and all of that. Somebody did that. Like somebody like handcrafted. I feel like there's something about that just makes a whole thing better. So yeah, that might have to strawberry cheesecake as well. Oof, you might have yourself a deal. Oh wait, no, it is to die for. Okay, I might have read that wrong. But yeah, if it's a strawberry cheesecake, oof, because it's made with love and not spite. Oh yes, that's the secret ingredient. Love. The secret ingredient is love. I do like a good cheesecake. I try to be good though because like they're so high in sugar and calories and everything else that it's a nice treat, once in a while. But yeah, you definitely got to be careful with not overindulging when it comes to cheesecake. Like, boy, oh, this one's only £1,500 a month. That's a cheap one. But you got to live in I don't know where Walton on the Hill is though. But it looks like a nice house. £1,500 a month. That's pretty cheap, right? We could afford that. Let's see here. Let's sort this by lowest priced. What's the cheapest we can get? Burgess Hill for £509 a month. That's not too bad actually. That's not too bad. I mean, it's a two bedroom, second floor flat, Burgess Hill, one two bedrooms, one shower. That's actually pretty decent. I ain't gonna lie. £509 a month. I don't know where Burgess Hill is though, but £509 a month to live in Burgess Hill. mm, that could be doable. I think after that it gets a bit. I mean, 600 ain't too bad. You get into 750s now. It doesn't take long to start going up. £800 to live in Romford, but it's a flat share. I don't know about a flat share though. I don't know about a flat share. I don't wanna do a flat share. I've done flat shares before where you share a kitchen. Like the one I did is like you had your own shower room and toilet and that kind of thing. But there was a shared kitchen on the floor. So on the floor that I was in, there was four apartments. I mean, the whole thing and many apartments, but my floor had four apartments. We all had our, of course, your own room, your own shower and toilet. But there was a shared kitchen, and the kitchen was relatively small. Definitely not big enough for four people. Like it was quite small. It might have been, I'll say the kitchen was probably big enough for one, maybe two people max. Um, but the fact that the kitchen was small wasn't really the issue. Um, it was just like some people just dirty. You know what I mean? Like some people are just dirty, like absolutely filthy people. And it got to a point where I just kind of felt like I felt like there were definitely people taking advantage of certain things, like um for example, I know myself and one other girl, we pretty much the only ones that were mopping the floor in the kitchen. Like it would just get left like filthy. There'd be like all kinds of like dirt or if it's spilled eggs or whatever. You know what I mean? Like just stuff that is like you can clean that up. You clearly know that you've made a mess. At the very least, you can wipe that up. So I'm not even talking just general regular foot dirt, but just people who are making a mess and just leaving it because they figured that, oh yes, one of these other two will probably just clean it eventually. So yeah, it was like me and this other girl who only were the ones cleaning the kitchen or cleaning the kitchen floor. And I remember like generally I'm like I don't like leaving stuff in the sink, like leaving plates and things in the sink. So I'll wash my plates and whatever I use pretty much when I use them. And because of that, like there was sometimes maybe you go to the sink, you're washing your stuff, and maybe somebody's left like a knife or a fork in there or whatever. And because I'm washing my stuff anyway, I might wash that one knife, one fork, or one cup, or whatever it is, and just put it away. No big deal. I don't mind it. It's not a problem, whatever. But I noticed after a little while that that one cup or that one spoon started becoming like 2, 3 plates, 4 pots. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, you're taking a piss. Like you just figured someone else is gonna wash it. She's gonna leave it there now. You know what I mean? So when I noticed that, I was like, you know what? No, I'm not washing your things for you. Like, come on, you're adults here. You can wash your own stuff. I did it a little bit as like whatever. I don't mind. It's not a problem. But when you realize people are just taking a piss and taking advantage, I'm like, nah, come on, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So yeah, I don't want to do a flat share. That was my long ramble, well, mini ramble about why I don't like flat shares. They're generally not bad ideas, and I think in London, especially, it's like a way of being in London without spending as much money, because everywhere's so expensive, and it makes it cheaper if you do a flat share. It's just the fact that some people are just so filthy, and you never know who you're getting when it comes to flat shares. You never know if you're going to get the people who are reasonable and adult about things and mature about things and actually clean up after themselves and don't leave a mess and that kind of stuff and respectful. Taking the rubbish out. That's another thing as well. Like not there's like, again, just me and there's one other girl that were taking the rubbish out. Everyone else was just leaving stuff around and yeah, like if you're around with people who are a bit or more reasonable and more mature about these things, and it's not so bad. But like you just don't know who you're getting because it's not up to you. You know what I mean? It's not up to you who you're sharing a flat with. So you just get who you get, and if you're lucky, it's somebody cool and whatever. But if not, then Just people leaving a mess, being filthy, being disgusting. So yeah, I'd rather just leave it. I'll just not do it. All right, let me catch up real quick. Wasn't the BFG one of Spielberg's bombs? That might have been, you know. I have to limit my cheesecake consumption to once a month because of the calorie content. Oh yeah. Do you when you say cheesecake though, are you talking about one whole cake or one slice? When you say limit your cheesecake consumption, are you talking about you limit yourself to one whole cheesecake per month or one slice per month? Cheesecake is just so good, oh for sure, for sure. It really is, man. It really is. Oh, speaking of cheese, by the way, Isaline, I did try your mayonnaise recipe with the Parmigiano cheese and the garlic, and yeah, it came out really nice. It came out really nice. So thank you for that. I would say that I didn't put as much cheese as you said to put because cheese tends to be quite high in salt, and one of the reasons why I want to make my own food is to reduce salt as well as sugar. So I didn't put as much cheese. I think I put about half the cheese I think you said to put was it 25 grams. I think I put about 10 or 10 or 11, 12, something like that. So I didn't put as much cheese, but yeah, still came out pretty good. So yeah, appreciate the tip on that. Appreciate the tip. Munich is another one. I go crazy living with someone who doesn't clean after themselves. Oh, it's mad. You'd think like if everybody's an adult, everyone's all grown up, you'd think people would be like, yeah, let's be reasonable about this, but nope. People be just as child. People be in their like 20s, 30s, and be just as childish as any 12-year-old, 13-year-old. You know what I mean? Like it's mad. It's actually mad. I love my kids and Elliot sometimes. Sometimes. Puffwa, puffwa. I love my kids and Elliot sometimes, but sometimes it would be nice to live alone. We don't have to worry about none of that. Don't have to hear no screaming. Don't have to pick up after nobody. Don't have to clean up after nobody. Don't have to cook for nobody. Or just cook for yourself. Don't have to worry about, portions. It's like, yeah, I'm eating all of this. I hear that. I hear that. It's okay. You can put as much as you want. Awesome. Have it turn out good. Yeah, I still got it. I haven't finished it yet, though. I haven't finished it yet, so I still got some. Still got some left. But yeah, I'm using it with my because one of the things I started doing. I've kind of done it before, but I fell out of it, and then I started doing it again. Is keeping my breakfasts very very light. So in the morning, the first thing I eat, I want it to be very very light. So I'm opting more for like um salad. Well, basically, it's lettuce, really. It's just shredded lettuce with tuna fish and, put some pepper on it. And then, a bit of the mayonnaise. I mixed it all in. So, yeah, literally just lettuce, tuna fish, ground pepper, and the mayonnaise. And I mix it all in. That's my breakfast. Well, along with a coffee, of course, along with a coffee, but that is my breakfast. I keep it really, really light. It's about 150 calories in total. Um, and yeah, been doing that for a while. I feel like one of the reasons I like to do that because I know I like to snack, and that's the thing. When trying to be more mindful about my diet and my food and making better choices. I know I like to snack, right? I know I like to get something throughout the day. So if I keep my breakfast really light, then if I snack a bit later on, it's not so bad. Whereas if I have a full on breakfast and I'm still snacking, it's adding up, right? It's adding up. So yeah, that's what I do. I just keep my breakfast real light. And then that way I know I could have like a light snack or whatever at this point, and then still over the course of the day, I haven't overeaten or that whole thing. Yeah, with Parmigiano sounds. Oh, it really is actually. It really is. Has a good, nice taste to it. Lick a bit of cheese, lick a bit of garlic. I think I put two garlic cloves in there. Was it two? I think I got two garlic cloves in there. Yeah, it was two. It was two. So food with low calories and high nutrition. Yeah, yeah, kind of. I mean, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of protein in the tuna fish. Um, the lettuce is just I mean, the lettuce is basically just crunchy air. Really. It's just crunchy air, but it serves as a way of having something in your stomach um, without being. There's actually a word for it, like calorie dense or something, where there's certain foods that can fill, that if you eat enough of it, it could be filling, but it doesn't add too much calories. So things like lettuce, cucumbers, most vegetables really fall into that category where is it calorie dense? I can't remember what that or I can't. I might be using the wrong phrase to be honest with you, but it basically means that there's certain foods that you could eat a lot of them or eat quite a bit of them, so you can still feel full, but you haven't eat consumed a lot of calories. And yeah, so lettuce, cucumbers, I think tomatoes in there as well. But yeah, vegetables basically. But of course, you can't just eat nothing but vegetables because that doesn't have everything you need. You need your proteins, you need your fibers, you need everything else. So yeah, I keep my breakfast light and nutritious, nutritious. And tuna fish, tuna fish still tastes good. Still, tuna fish still tastes good. Tuna fish, that's because especially if you get the tuna fish in sunflower oil. If you get tuna fish in brine, it's alright. It's alright. But tuna fish in sunflower oil is. Mm. So yeah, I get the tuna fish in sunflower oil. Put about half the can on the lettuce. Mix it in with the peppers and the mayonnaise, and yeah, that's my breakfast. That's my breakfast. You can try boiled eggs with sriracha. I usually use that as a snack instead of chips. It's healthy. It's not a bad idea actually. I do like boiled eggs. I do like sriracha. So yeah. Yes, since it helps stay in a cat. Yes, for sure, for sure. Oh, you know what? Speaking of lettuce, actually, and this is true for just any kind of foods, really, but especially vegetables, because if you ever buy lettuce and you put it in a bag, you put it in the fridge, and then maybe like 2, 3 days later, you notice it starts to go brown, right? I found a video on YouTube that shows you how to store your lettuce or store basically any vegetables, um, and keep it fresh for like 5, 6 days, maybe even longer, depending on how well you can do it. And it's actually not even hard to do. But I mean, of course, the better you do it, the more it can last. But it's to do with like gases, basically. Like I can't remember the name of the gas, but vegetables and fruits and pretty much all foods emit like this a gas, and that gas makes the food go bad when it's exposed to it. So what you're supposed to do is put, say, your lettuce in a bag, like one of those like freezer bags, right? And but instead of just like put it in a bag and then put it in the fridge, you put it in a bag and you squeeze as much of the air out of that bag as possible. Like you just hold it down, roll it around, or and just squeeze as much of the air out of that bag as possible before you sealing it. And once you've sealed it up and you've got as much of the air out, you put it in the fridge. And yeah, I've been finding that lettuce just lasts so much longer. Like it's maybe going like it used to be like maybe a day, two, yeah, maybe like 2 or 3 days at the most. Now it's lasting like 5, 6 days, and it does eventually start to go brown just because I don't have the full on professional ways of squeezing air out of bags. I'm doing it by hand, so allow me, man, allow me. But the fact that it's lasting like twice as long as it was before on me doing it like my basic amateur way, just by using my hand to squeeze it out. I'm just saying that's a good tip. So yeah, um, if you have lettuce in your fridge or any kind of food, but especially like vegetables, any food really, but especially things like vegetables and fruit, then yeah, get the air out that bag. Like get it and put it in a plastic bag, squeeze as much of the air out as possible, then seal it, and that will last. It will help it last longer. It'll help it last so much longer. Delicious CO. Oh, CO2. Oh, that could be it actually. CO2. I mean, because it's in the. I mean, I'm saying squeeze the air out because the gas is ultimately in the air anyway. But yeah, it's the it might be CO2. I mean, they did say the name of the gas in the video. I just can't remember. But yeah, it might be CO2 that they emit. And because that's in the air, if you're squeezing it out, you're squeezing the CO2 out as well. So but yeah, if you could get something that just squeeze all the air out, as much of the air as possible, and then store it in the fridge after that, yeah, it will last longer. You get like another 2, 3, 4 days out of it. The more you know, should be their own show. It could be. You might have to fight Dan for the copyright in that one though. That was Dan saying for a while. The more you know, the more you know. So I don't know, Dan, you might have a copyright battle on your hands. So apparently there's another way of doing it. I don't know if this is better or worse. I've just seen this video.
Store. First, break down your lettuce into small pieces. This scissor hack makes it so easy. Give your lettuce a good wash and then get as much moisture out as possible. I like to use a salad spinner. Transfer that clean, dry lettuce to a glass container. Then add a clean cloth or paper towel to absorb any excess moisture. You change this out every couple days. Store that in the fridge and follow to reduce your food waste. Here's how to keep your lettuce
So
fresh
apparently
for
this
up
makes
to
it
a
last for a
month.
month. I ain't tried it, so I can't comment on it, but it looks like a pretty easy, straightforward way of doing it. Maybe even be easier by the one than the one that I was trying. So I don't know if you try this. I might try this one as well, actually, next time. But if you do try this, then yeah, let me know. But this looks like an easier way of doing it by putting it in a glass jar and then using a towel to absorb the excess moisture. Yeah, yeah, I need to do that as soon as possible. Indeed. I wonder if it will still be crispy afterwards. Oh, it should be. I mean, my lettuce was fine. My lettuce was fine. Like I think now, like it starts to go a little bit brown. I think that when I had some today, it was starting to go a little bit brown. But this is like 5, 6 days later, so it should still be, well, should hopefully still be okay to eat tomorrow. But there's not much left of it anyway, so I can finish it off tomorrow, and then just get a new lettuce head from the shop. But yeah, apparently stir it in a jar helps it go up to a month. So that's what one of the things I like about YouTube, though, isn't it? Like you can learn so much on YouTube. Like, don't get me wrong. I know YouTube has a lot of crap on it. I know there's a lot of misinformation on YouTube as well. I know. I'm aware of that. But you can really find just a lot of good information of things that you might not know to even think about. Like I mean, for me, it's like looking up stuff on food and food storage, just stuff that I don't know. Like and a lot of this stuff is like real simple things that you can do without any kind of like particular skills or even special equipment. So like it's just cool that there's so many people out there who have figured stuff out and willing to share what they've learned, and then people expand on that, and then I come along and be like, oh, that is awesome, and I can act like I'm professional in the kitchen, but all I do is just copy other people's ideas on YouTube. So I'm just saying YouTube is great. It really is. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this is one of my favorite YouTubers actually. Let me put this one on the screen. So there's a lady called Pam, who's basically like if you're into cooking, she's basically like the internet auntie. Um, and a lot of videos that she has a lot of cooking videos to show you how to cook stuff, but she also has a lot of videos that give you tips on whether it's storage or um, how to, or what type of things to look for in ingredients, how to change a bin. Like she knows a lot. Like this lady on your screen right now, like she is like a wealth of information in kitchen hygiene and tips and tricks and stuff. So I've not seen this video, but I'm almost I'm like I'll say I'm like 99.9% sure that it's going to be something useful. Only reason why I'm not 100% sure is because at the end of the day, people are people. You never know. But yeah, pretty much every video I've seen of her has been something useful in there. So
Here
what she
are
says.
20 foods that will outlast your life. Come with me, I'll show you what to do. Raw honey, a biscuit called hardtack that dates back to the Egyptian and Roman soldiers. Salt, baking soda, pure vanilla extract, dried beans, dried milk, oxygen-free rice, maple syrup, soy sauce when unopened, bouillon cubes, sugar, tea, instant coffee, cornstarch, corn syrup, apple cider vinegar, 100% cocoa, ramen noodles, and hard liquor. And there you have it. Here are 20 foods that will outlast your life. Come with me.
20 foods that will outlast your life. So any of those foods will live longer than you. That's like, yeah, I guess that, yeah. Oh, you're looking for, oh, right. Okay, you might see it in screen actually. Cooking at Pam's Place. She's got a few channels as well. If you're into gardening, she has a gardening channel too called Scaredy Cat Gardener. But yeah, the cooking at Pam's Place is the main channel. Right, tea special. Oh, indeed. Indeed. I was just watching a video about apparently KSI and Logan Paul and Mr. Beast have launched a food item or food thing called Lunchly, I think they call it. Yeah, Lunchly, and it's like a snack box for like a lunch box for like kids, and they're claiming it's healthier option than another product called Lunchable, which is a similar type of thing that they sell in America. And I was watching a video by a doctor um about their claims and what he thought of it, and it basically just came down to like it's not enough to just say that you have more electrolytes or things like that because you have to be clear about which electrolytes you actually have more of because electrolytes, sodium is an electrolyte, and if you just have a lot of sodium, that can still be very harmful. So it's not enough to just say more electrolytes. Which specific electrolytes are you talking about? So it was like quite an interesting video actually. I learned a few things, even though I can't remember what I learned right now. But it was an interesting video in terms of like nutrition and looking on the size of packets and understanding that you can't just say, oh, we've got less of this, that means it's healthier, or we got less fat, that means it's healthier, or less sugar, that means it's healthier. It's like, okay, no, well, what exactly? And also size comparisons and things like that. So yeah, I thought it was interesting. I know, honey, they found it in a Egyptian tombstone. Wait, are you saying there's honey they found in the Egyptian tombstone, or you calling me honey and saying they found it in Egyptian tombstone? I think we need to be clear on that one. I know, honey, they found it in Egyptian tombstone. I know, honey, they found an Egyptian tombstone. I could read that both ways. Either way, it's all good. But yeah, now some foods will just last for ages, though. That's for sure, and that's not a bad thing. It's just it kind of is what it is. Some foods are not supposed to last for ages though, and that's an issue. If you got foods that aren't supposed to last that long and they're lasting very long, like like meat, for example, like meat is not supposed to last very long, like fresh meat. If you've got meat and it's still good after like 5 years, there's something wrong with that meat. It should not be lasting that long. Or bread, bread should not be lasting that long. If you've got bread from like 5 months ago and it's still looking like it was bought yesterday, it's like, yeah, no, there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that. The honey in a tombstone, but I can call you honey. Wow. Honey in a tombstone. Would you eat honey found in a tombstone? I know, I think I might. Depends on which tombstone though. If it was a tombstone of somebody that like, I don't know, like a I don't know, serial killer or something, then yeah, probably not. I don't think I'd eat that honey. But if it was like honey from like a tombstone of someone who was like maybe a pretty decent guy or a decent person, yeah, I could eat that tombstone. I could eat that honey. I could eat that. I could eat that. Lady Leisure has got a new video out called "Not Guilty." I'm so worried about it tasting bad. Yeah, it probably would, especially if it's really old. But I mean, I don't mind stuff that tastes bad. It's because it's not going to make you ill. It would just taste bad, right? Like if it was stuff. I mean, if we're talking about if it's still okay to eat, like still healthy to, well, not healthy, but if it's still like good to eat, if it just tastes bad, I'm not too worried about that. I'm not too worried about that. If it's just rotten, then yeah, that's an issue. That's an absolute issue. But if it just tastes bad, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. I can put up with a bad taste in food just for the experience of taste having honey that was found on a tombstone. As long as there's no like I don't know germs or something in it, or I don't know. As long as I guess what I'm saying is as long as it's safe to eat, like safe to consume, I'll try it, even if it tastes bad. It doesn't ferment, but still.
You really had me out here thinking I was mid. Like I wasn't that gas, like I wasn't that fire, like I wasn't that za. Are you crazy? Well, let me reintroduce myself. Snatch. His soul. You really had me out here.
All right. Were they making you think you were mid? I just what there's a video I just saw. It's talking about it's two people on at a table at a restaurant, and it says the first person to finish doesn't pay. That means if you finish your food first, you don't pay. Let me tell you something. Like if I was ever out in a restaurant and they said to me, and I was with some other people, and somebody said to me, the first person to finish their food does not pay. Trust, I am not paying. I am not paying. Like if you ever tell me the first person to finish their food doesn't have to pay, I'm not paying because my food is getting finished long before everybody else's. Trust that. Like I've been eating fast my whole life. Like that's just what I do. What people call like fast eating for me, that's just normal. That's just normal. You know what I mean? That's just how you eat. Like nah, nah. I am not paying. Trust that. Like it's getting and I have to kick it into like extra beast mode just to make sure. But if I have to, I would just be like, hold the plate like it's gone. Just tip it all in my mouth. It's just gone. But yeah, trust, I am not paying. First person to finish, don't pay. Oof. Somebody give me that. Somebody give me that. Listen, I am not paying. You better bring your wallet. I'll tell you that. You better bring your wallet. You better bring your credit cards because I am not paying. Eating fast is just life, man. It's just life. In my house growing up, you either eat fast or you don't eat. So prepared me for life. I'll be off night night. Bless you and have a great evening. Appreciate you coming through, Isaline. You have yourself a good night. Hope the bed bugs don't bite. But yeah, appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you chatting with me for a little bit. Have a great week. Have a great evening. Hopefully I'll be posting a video or two during the week, but see how that goes. But yeah, till next time, till whenever, if ever. Peace out, ease. Hudfelt. Hudfelt. No, Hudnat. Hudnat. Hugnat. Hudnat. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right, all right, all right. It's actually getting Hudnat. Nice. All right, laters. Laters, alligators. But yeah, it's actually getting quite late, so I might actually end the last stream relatively soonish. Um, or share, or share. There's a lot of these like AI thumbnails and things on YouTube. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I just noticed there's a lot of them. Like you see these AI generated images a lot. I don't know. I might have to look into that and decide whether maybe I should get these thumbnails, these AI generated thumbnails. I don't know, maybe that's what I'm missing. Maybe that's what one needs to do. Hey, it's so good. Just looking at some of the videos I get recommended. I get recommended some weird stuff sometimes. I mean, most of the videos I get recommended, I think I understand why. Others, I'm like, I ain't too sure. I ain't too sure. What kind of weirdo video did I watch to get recommended this? I'm back, mom duties. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hopefully the kids are doing all right. Speaking of mummy duties, actually, how's Mr. Elliott's back? Is he because is he okay now? Is he back at work? Because he's still nurturing. How's he doing? Excuse me. Doing my head in. So fine. Oh, well, I guess that's um, I guess that's a good thing in its own kind of way. I guess that means they're healthy. Mhm. They're healthy and hopefully happy, even if they're doing your head in. It's just gone back to work, but he is right. It's L5 step disc. Will probably need surgery. Oof, man. He's on the waiting list. Damn. Waiting list could be long sometimes as well. Man, hopefully not too long for him because that's. Whoosh. I know sometimes with the waiting list, that's the thing. Like, we're kind of talking about this with one of my passengers the other day. Actually, like the NHS is. I mean, I feel like the NHS they do the best they can. Like for the most part, I feel like they do the best they can. Um, but I feel like the way things are going in terms of like how they're being underfunded, not having the maybe access to equipment that's needed, and all kinds of problems going on. I do feel like ultimately what I mean, and this is just me speculating. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know. We'll see. But I do feel like the government is, and that's any government, by the way, whether it's conservatives or Labour. Um, I feel like they're the government is like somewhat pushing people towards private healthcare in the sense that they're not going to tell you things like they're not going to come out and say we want everyone in private health. I don't think they're ever going to say that, but I feel like they're going to do things, constantly do things that make it harder and harder to get treatment on the NHS, and which pushes people more towards just getting private healthcare. And that's fine if you could afford private healthcare or if you could afford the insurance. But the problem is that well, not everybody can. And even once you have all the rich kids on private health insurance or whatever, you still have a lot of people that, far more people who can't afford it, that need to be in the NHS, that need a treatment, that aren't getting a treatment because moving the people who could afford it over doesn't solve the issue, right? It maybe bumps you up one in the queue or whatever, or two in the queue, but you still got like a 200-300 people in front of you, And I don't know. Maybe I'm talking about my ass. Maybe I don't know what anything. Maybe it's just me speculating too much. I don't know, but that's just how it feels like to me. Like there's this slow kind of push towards people getting private healthcare, which yeah, if you can afford it, great. But if not, it sucks. It sucks. But hey. I don't know. That's my uninformed mini rant. No, you're right. Cool, cool, cool. Guess I'm not completely off in my thinking. That's good. That's good to know. That's good to know. Actually, let's see. What does private health insurance cost? How much does private health insurance cost? Because I've never looked that up. I don't think. I mean, I guess it's going to be different for different people depending on your health and age and things. But I'm trying to see if I could find like an average. Okay, here we go. What is the average cost of private health insurance in the UK? That's the question. The latest research shows that the average cost of health insurance in the UK in 2024 is £41 and 58 pence for a single health insurance policy, £77 and 42 pence for couples, and £95 and 19 pence for a family of four. Now, what is that per month, per year, per what? What is this? It doesn't say. Demand for health insurance for private medical aid has increased significantly in the past 3 years. Um, Here we go. We also know from experience that most households currently spend. No, that's not answering the question. Or maybe it is 70 to £100 a month on there. So most households currently spend between 70 and £100 per month on their health insurance. So yeah, that 40, 70, 95 is per month by the looks of it. Yo, what up, Brax Bever? Based on most recent research, Aviva is often the lowest price option for individual health insurance policies, with prices starting at less than £20 per month. £20 a month, I guess, isn't too bad, but I'm assuming that if you're paying for the cheap health insurance, you're probably not covered for much. You know what I mean? That's kind of how insurance works. The less you're covered for, the cheaper it is. So it's like, okay, I'm paying £20 a month for health insurance. Um, I get sick. What happens? Yeah, we're not going to cover that sickness. Okay. I fell over and broke my leg. Yeah, we're not going to cover that injury. So what are you covering? We only cover you if you get hit by a spaceship falling from Mars on the 5th of July, 2001. That's the only thing we cover. That's what you're paying your £20 a month for, to be covered for that very specific incident. That's what it is. Oh, okay. Gee, thanks. It's actually an L4 and an L5. The L4 will sort itself out, but the L5 won't. He can't have physio because it will do more damage. So has to wait for surgery. Oof. So it's just pain until he gets the treatment. Then, damn, that sucks. Sorry, man. Sorry, that sucks. Is there ways that he can, like, I don't know, like maybe alleviate the pain in the meantime, or is there things that he can do to maybe like help deal with it until he gets surgery? Hopefully, there's something you can do for now that can just maybe help with the pain or help with the discomfort. Brax, there. So, Brax, I'm actually something right quick, actually. So, America typically has health insurance just anyway, like because there's no like sort of NHS type thing in America. So, what would you say is the average price of health insurance in the United States? Like, what's the average price there? So if I wanted private health insurance, according to this, somebody my age on private health insurance would be paying around 40 to £50 a month. About 40 to £50 a month I would be paying for private healthcare. It doesn't say what I'd be covered for though. Pain has lessened, it's more uncomfortable. Um, you show price that coffee video. Oh, I don't think I did actually. Oof. Let me see if I can find it again. me see if I can find it. Oh, mate. It's always like the stuff you're not looking for that show up. Um, yeah, I've got it. I've got it. All right. You ready, Braxton? I got something I want to show you. I got something I want to show you. This is for you, Brax. This is for you.
We'll take it for you. Can I get a latte, please? Yep. What do you want?
Oh, I don't drink coffee. I'm good.
You don't drink
You
coffee?
think you're better than us? Just get a coffee, bro. You think you're better than everybody in a coffee shop?
I wake up, I don't drink coffee. I start my day what, with fucking water? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're a fucking pussy.
Listen, asshole. Get a coffee or get out of my store.
Fine. I'll get a coffee.
Oh, nice choice, man. What'll it be?
I'll get decaf.
Get the fucking cat out of here.
What is wrong with you?
We'll take it for you. Can I get a latte, please? Yep. What do you want?
Oh, I don't drink
Yeah,
coffee. I'm good.
that was
You don't
it.
drink coffee.
That was it. That is a very reasoned response to people who don't drink coffee, as far as I'm concerned. That was totally reasonable. Somebody says they don't drink coffee. I'm like, yeah, that is a very in a coffee shop as well. In a coffee shop as well. You're gonna be like, oh, I don't drink coffee. Like, ugh. Very reasonable response. It was the only exactly. Exactly. Okay, so I'm looking up health insurance in America, and it is way more expensive. Like average cost of health insurance for a 40-year-old is $544 per month. Per month, $544. That's something like, I mean, that's like 450 pounds approximately, give or take. Man, why is it so expensive? Listen, if you're paying $544 a month, they better be giving you immortality at that point. You know what I mean? They better be giving you immortality. Like, how you gonna be paying $544 a month for health insurance? That is mad. I was looking at British ones thinking that we're expensive with that 40 something pound, £50 a month. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty high up. But you're paying 400 or sort of £500, $500 a month. Ross. No wonder like a lot of Americans look for jobs that provide health insurance with the job as a benefit. Because if you have to pay for that yourself, that is madness. That is madness. According to the data from Independent Health and Medical Research from KFF, for families, the total annual premium average 23,900 yeah, or about 1,000, or just about 2,000 a month. It's been as high as the solar system the past couple of years. That is crazy. That is actually mad. Like, 'cause I've always seen those TV shows in America where they say things like, "Oh, um, I need to work so I can get the health benefits and stuff like that." And I guess I've never really deeped it on any kind of level. But now I'm looking at the price of the car. I'm like, yo, no wonder. No wonder. Like, no wonder people be like, "Oh, if you got a job with health benefits, it's like, yeah, you make sure you keep that job." Ross, that is actually mad. That is actually mad. Yo. I saw that coffee with Michael B. Jordan, I think. It was King Back. King Back? Yeah, King Back. Buck. King Buck. I think people call him King Bachelor, but I don't know. Maybe it is Bachelor. It's spelled Bach, which to my mind spells Buck because it's like the composer. But then I don't know. He's probably not German, so maybe it is actually Batch. I don't know, but I've always said King Buck, just because of the composer called Buck. But yeah, I think most people say King Batch. But yeah, it's not Michael B. Jordan. It's not. It's somebody else. It's somebody else. It's another black guy. It's all right. They all look the same. Lil Jake's back. Well, we're just talking about health insurance, little Jacob. In the UK, if you want to get private health insurance, it'll cost you about 40 to £50 a month, right? 40 to £50 a month to get private health insurance in the UK. And I ain't know about you, but I thought that was pretty expensive, like pretty high up there in terms of like an added cost, an added monthly cost. 40 to £50 a month is quite a significant amount to pay each month for health insurance, right? That's what I was thinking. Until I looked at what Americans pay per month for their health insurance, and I was like, all right, cool. Like, yeah, that is Americans be paying like $544 a month for health insurance. $544 per month for health insurance. That is crazy, bro. And that's for like people in their 40s. If you're like over 60, it's $1,154 per month for health insurance. $1,154 a month for health insurance if you're over 60. Bro, listen, like if you're paying that much per month for health insurance, I'm telling you, they better be giving you immortality. There's no two ways about it. They better be giving you immortality at that point. It's like, no, you don't ever die. Like, nah, you can't. Nah, that's actually mad. They better be giving you immortality and bionic limbs or something. Like, nah, that is actually mad. I was actually thinking of getting private health insurance, though. I mean, I don't know if I would because yeah, £50 a month is a bit of a stretch for me. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it's a bit of a stretch. But I was thinking about it just because of like, yeah, the way everything's going, and I do kind of think about these things. Like if I ever find myself, especially as somebody who drives for a living, if I ever find myself in a situation where I'm injured and I need to get treatment, and that kind of thing, and it's like, yeah, the way things are going with the NHS, the way it's being underfunded, undercut, all of that stuff, and understaffed, overworked, you know, you might find yourself in a situation where you need treatment and you're on a waiting list. And it's like, yeah, I don't want that. But then to get the health insurance is like, what, £50 a month? But yeah, that's a consideration. That's a consideration. I ain't sure I could have stretched to £50 a month. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Or if you die, it's not your problem. Right? $544 a month, bruh. Actually, they got to keep you alive to make sure you keep paying that $544 a month. To when you think about it, like if you're paying $500 a month, they need to keep you alive so you can keep paying that $500 a month. You know what I mean? Like they need you alive and well and working and do whatever you need to do to keep giving them that $500 a month. They better be working hard on you. They better be like, nope, no, this guy, we're not letting you go. We're not letting you go. He's flatlining. He's flatlining. Not on my watch. If I'm paying that much, I at least better have a lifespan of 100 years. But if you live to 100 though, you know you're paying at $1,100 a month after 60. So for the last 40 years of your life, you're paying some mad thousand plus a month, $1,000 a month. They better keep you going though. It's like you need to be alive, well, and working to afford that. And they need that's the kind of treatment that you need to get to be 100 years old and still fit enough to work a job pays you enough money to afford the health insurance at that age. Like that's what they need to be doing. Paying a mortgage or rent on a nice house is between 200. I told you that. So over here, you said that's cheap. In Britain. Oh yeah, no, 400,000 for a house is cheap in the UK for sure. 400,000 for a house is cheap in the UK. Like average house price, I think in the UK across the board, you're probably looking at around about 400,000, 500. In certain areas, it definitely goes up. Like London, it goes up. But I think across the UK, average house price is about £400,000, which is maybe about $500,000, $600,000, give or take. So yeah, 200 to 300,000 is a cheap house over here. If you got a terminal condition, it will slow it down to a crawl so you can pay the bill. They got to, right? They want their money too. They want their money too. Maybe flatline. Can I afford the insurance to stay alive? For real, like you know what? You know, if I live, I gotta go to work. If I die, just let me die. Just let me die. No, not today, sir. Not today. I'm seeing something here. I'll say in the premium for single coverage in 2023 was 8,000 per year. Average premium for a family is 23,000. That's higher than Stones Mountain over here. Ish. It's crazy how much things cost, man. It really is. It really is. Oy. All right, all right, all right. It is about that time to start winding down. Guys, you've been awesome as always. Um, should hopefully try and post a video during the week, so look out for that if indeed I get to. Other than that, should hopefully be back on live next week, 8 p.m. ish GMT. Yeah, I was getting annoyed at paying a fiver for my as a delivery shop. Fiver, don't they do it free if you like buy like £40 worth of stuff or something? There's one of them ones where it's like you put everything in a basket and it adds up to like 38.50 or something. I was like, damn, but I need £1.50 more of stuff to get the free delivery, and you're just looking around for stuff, and it's like flipping out. That was £2. Now I'm at 41. And like, no, come on, something else. Venture's like, oh, let me just pay for the damn delivery. Can you imagine how bad things will get for future generations in terms of cost of living? Future looks so bleak. Dystopian society in prospect. I'm not sure if it's that bad. I mean, I think some things are definitely going to be harder. Like housing. I think that I mean, I don't know if actually, you know what? I don't know if housing is going to be harder because I do think there's a lot of younger people right now that don't care about some of the same things that older folks care about. So I think that attitude, once those guys are getting into their sort of 30s and 40s, assuming that attitude stays the same, um, yeah, you're gonna have things that we would call problems where it might not necessarily be as much of a bigger deal. Like the fact that housing is so expensive, for example, like for guys like us, we look at it and say, man, that's such a problem, it's such a problem, and especially a problem for the youth. But then I know there's a lot of younger people who just don't care about ever owning a house. They've probably decided a long time ago that they don't care about owning a house because they figure it's so unattainable that they just don't even think about it. So like whatever solutions or whatever plans they have for their own futures might not involve ever owning a house. And it might be just going along the leaseholds and, that kind of thing where you have it for 100 years. And it's like, well, I ain't going to live for 100 years anyway. I'm already 28. I'm not going to live till I'm 128, or whatever it is. So it's like 100 years is probably fine, in that kind of thinking. So, yeah, I don't know. This it's definitely. I don't know if dystopian. I don't know. To my mind, I feel like dystopian is probably sounds like a stretch. That being said, yeah, I do think things are going to change, but well, whether or not the younger people can handle those changes, I guess that's what's wait to be seen, and whether a lot of the changes even matter, depending on how they prefer to live, that will wait to be seen. But dystopian, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, unless AI takes over, then maybe not. But hey, that's still a possibility. And I ended up doing a click and collect for 150. Wasn't paying a fiver. They just having wait for you. He's like, fine, I had to go down to the shop and get it. Save me a fiver. Get your steps in, right? Get your steps in. So it works out both ways. All right, all right, all right. Guys, you've been awesome as always. I appreciate you and all that you do. Thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for keeping it lively. The village is strong. I haven't said it for ages. The village is strong. Can you make it strong? And we're only going to get stronger. But yeah, appreciate you coming through. And until whenever, if ever,